They thought they had me cornered. They hired the best lawyer to tear me apart, to humiliate me in front of the world. But what they didn't know was that I wasn't the same girl they had once known. This was my story, my fight, and I was about to turn everything around in a single sentence. My name is Sharon. I used to believe that family was the one thing in this world I could always rely on, especially my sister Chloe. She was my rock at least. That's what I thought. We shared everything, from childhood secrets to late-night talks, and I always believed that no matter what happened, she'd be there for me. But then everything changed. The scandal came out of nowhere, like a bomb dropped into my life. I never saw it coming. One day, I was just living my life, working, laughing with Chloe, and the next, my world was crashing down around me. Sharon, Chloe's voice echoed over the phone, but it didn't sound like her. It was colder, almost robotic. You need to get a lawyer. They're going to accuse you. I froze. Accuse me. Of what? Her silence on the other end made my heart race. The kind of silence that spoke volumes. Do you know what they're saying? You've been... I cut her off, panic creeping into my voice. You're saying I did something. Something I didn't even know about. She exhaled sharply. I didn't know either, but they're pushing it. They're hiring the best lawyer, Sharon. They're going to make you look like you're guilty of something you didn't do. My head was spinning. Who? Who would do this to me, and why, Chloe? My voice cracked, but she didn't answer. I knew then. She was already on their side. I didn't understand. My sister, my closest friend, was turning her back on me. I sat there, in shock, as Chloe's words echoed in my mind. They had hired a lawyer. Not just any lawyer, but one with a reputation for tearing people apart. I could already imagine the way the media would twist everything. The accusations, the headlines. And Chloe, she was just standing by, letting it happen. I paced around my living room, my thoughts a blur. Every second felt like I was suffocating. My mind kept replaying the words I'd just heard. They hired the best lawyer. I couldn't believe it. How could Chloe, of all people, throw me under the bus like this? How could she let them accuse me of something I didn't even understand? Sharon, listen. Chloe's voice was back on the phone, but it felt distant now, like a stranger's voice. I'm not saying you did anything wrong, but there's nothing we can do. They've already made up their minds. I wanted to scream. I need you to fight for me. You're my sister. You're supposed to help me through this. She paused, her hesitation telling me everything I needed to know. I can't. They've made promises. I can't go against them, Sharon. My throat tightened, the weight of her words crashing down on me. I felt like I was drowning, but I had to hold on. Chloe, ... This is how it ends for me. With you on their side. I don't have a choice, she said, barely above a whisper. Let the silence fill the space between us, each second stretching out like an eternity. It felt like my world was falling apart, and all I could do was watch. I didn't even know what I was supposed to do now. I hung up the phone without saying another word. It didn't matter. The betrayal was real. Chloe wasn't just letting them accuse me. She was standing in the shadows, letting it happen because it was easier than standing up for me. I sat on the couch, numb. The pain was unbearable, like someone had ripped out the heart I thought I could always count on. Deep down, I felt a spark, something that refused to let me give up. I wasn't just going to let them walk all over me. No, I wasn't done fighting. I pushed myself off the couch, the weight of it all still pressing down on me, but something in me snapped. I couldn't stay here, wallowing in despair. I had to fight back. I had to find a way to show them that they couldn't tear me apart without consequences. The first step was to find a lawyer of my own, someone who would fight for me. I didn't know how I would get through this, but I wasn't about to let the person I trusted most, the one who should have been my ally, destroy me. I wiped away the tears that had gathered in my eyes. I wasn't going to let this happen without a fight. If Chloe wanted to let them win, that was her choice. But I wasn't going to lose myself in the process. The battle had just begun. And I was ready. I barely recognize myself as I sit in that courtroom. My palms are sweaty, my heart racing like it's trying to escape my chest. The air feels thick, suffocating. I can barely hear the judge's voice over the pounding in my head. But it doesn't matter. All that matters is what's happening in front of me. The lawyer stands up. His presence is almost oppressive, cold, sharp, and calculating. I can see his eyes scan over me like I'm nothing more than a case file, a name on a piece of paper. He begins speaking, and every word feels like a dagger to my heart. Sharon. He starts, his voice dripping with disdain, has been living a double life. Her actions speak volumes about her character. A person who would I can't even hear the rest of what he says. The words blur together. He's painting me as someone I'm not, someone I've never been. The lies, the accusations, it's all too much. Every single thing he says is like another punch to my gut, another reason to question everything I've ever believed. I look over at Chloe. She's sitting across from me, her eyes fixed on the table in front of her. Not once does she look at me, not once does she show any sign of remorse, any sign that this is hurting her too. I want to scream at her to ask how she can sit there and let him say these things about me. But I don't. I can't. My throat is tight and my words are stuck. Your Honor. The lawyer continues. This woman is guilty of what she's been accused of, and we have the proof to back it up. I can feel the blood drain from my face. My entire life is being ripped apart in front of me. I want to run, want to escape this nightmare, but I can't. I'm trapped. I'm stuck in a courtroom full of strangers, and all I can do is sit here and take it. I glance to my right. My mother is sitting next to Chloe, silent. She hasn't said a word since the trial started. I thought she would stand by me. I thought she would at least try to fight for me. But instead, she sits there like she doesn't even know me, like I'm not her daughter. The silence is deafening. It cuts deeper than anything the lawyer could say, Sharon. The lawyer says, his voice cutting through the tension. You stand here accused of betrayal and deceit. The evidence is overwhelming. I feel like the room is closing in on me. The air is thick, suffocating. I can't breathe, start to feel dizzy, my vision blurring. But I have to stay. I have to stay strong even though everything in me wants to collapse. I hear Chloe's voice, soft, barely a whisper. I didn't want this, she says, but she doesn't look at me. She's not talking to me. She's talking to the air, to no one in particular. And I wonder if she even knows how. Much her silence is hurting me. How much it's tearing me apart. The lawyer keeps talking, his words washing over me like waves. I try to block them out, but it's impossible. Sharon is guilty, he says, and there is nothing more to discuss. I feel my chest tighten. I want to scream. I want to tell everyone that this isn't me, that I'm not the person they think I am. But the words get stuck in my throat and I can't speak. I turn to the judge, my eyes pleading. I want him to see the truth. I want him to know that I didn't do this. But the judge is impassive, his face unreadable. I feel so small, so insignificant. In this moment, I don't know how much longer I can take this. The lawyer finishes speaking, and for a moment, there's nothing but silence. It's like the world has stopped moving, like time itself has frozen. I can feel every pair of eyes in the room on me, but I can't look at anyone. I can't face them then. Without warning, tears start to fall. I try to hold them back, but I can't. They come, and I let them. I can't fight it anymore. Weight of the betrayal, the humiliation. The Shemitah all crashes down on me in that moment. But as I sit there, broken and defeated, I hear a voice. It's mine, and it's trembling, but it's strong. I didn't do this. I'm not the person he's making me out to be. The words hang in the air, and for the first time in this whole mess, I feel like I might be able to fight back. Can't let them destroy me. I can't let Chloe and the lawyer and everyone else who's turning against me take away who I am. I may not have the strength I once had, but I have enough to keep going. I have enough to stay here, to fight, to prove that I didn't do what they say I did. It's not over yet. I still have a chance, and I'm not going to let them take that away from me. I sit in the quiet of my living room, the hum of the clock on the wall, the only sound keeping me company. The weight of everything that's happened presses down on me. But today, something inside me shifts. I've had enough of being a victim. Enough of sitting idly by, watching as my life is torn apart. I'm done letting Chloe and that lawyer dictate my fate. I grab my laptop, my hands shaking as I open it. I'm going to fight this. I don't have a choice. I can't afford to sit back and hope for someone else to help me. I need to represent myself, need to regain control. I take a deep breath, my fingers hovering over the keys. You can do this, I whisper to myself, and I start searching anything, everything that could help me understand what's happening. The law, the loopholes, the history of cases like mine. My eyes burn from the hours I spend reading, my mind racing as I begin to piece together. The truth. Hours pass and I find something, piece of information that makes my stomach drop. I lean forward, squinting at the screen. No, I mutter under my breath. This can't be real. The deeper I go, the more I uncover. Chloe didn't just betray me for herself. There's something darker at play. Here's something she's been trying to hide. The lawyer isn't just here for the case. He's here for something else, something personal. My gut churns as I start to put the pieces together. Chloe wasn't just protecting herself. She was protecting something or someone else. And that's someone. It's connected to the very foundation of everything I've been accused of. I don't know the full picture yet, but I can feel it. The pieces are there, waiting for me to uncover them. The next morning, I walk into the courtroom, the familiar weight of fear and anger heavy in my chest. I look over at Chloe, sitting on the other side. She's still silent, still refusing to meet my eyes. It's like she's already made her decision to let me fall. But I won't. I won't fall. Not anymore. The lawyer stands up, looking every bit the cold, calculating professional he's known to be. But this time, I'm not afraid of him. He doesn't have power over me anymore. I've done my homework. I know what he's hiding. I know what Chloe's hiding. And I won't let them get away with it. You're all here to see justice, the lawyer says, his voice as smooth as ever. But there's no justice for someone who has deceived everyone around them. My hands grip the edge of the table, but I hold my tongue. I want to scream. I want to tell him that he's the one deceiving everyone. But I have a plan now. I have to play it smart. I won't give him the satisfaction of seeing me lose control. The judge nods, giving the lawyer permission to continue. What's your defense? He asks, glancing at me. I stand up, my legs trembling, but my voice steady. Your Honor, I will be representing myself. There's a collective gasp in the room. Chloe looks at me for the first time in days, her eyes wide with disbelief. The lawyer smirks, clearly confident that I'm making a mistake. Sharon, Chloe says, her voice a mix of confusion and anger. You can't do this. You don't know anything about the law. I know enough, I reply, locking eyes with her. I know enough to know that I'm not the person you're making me out to be. I turn to the judge, my heart pounding in my chest. Your Honor, I'm asking for a fair chance. I'm asking to present the truth. The lawyer raises an eyebrow, but I can see the unease in his eyes. He knows I'm onto something. He knows I'm starting to unravel whatever secret he's trying so hard to keep hidden. And that's when I realize this isn't just a legal battle anymore. This is personal. I'm not just fighting for my freedom anymore. I'm fighting to expose the truth. And I'm not going to stop until I do. The next few days feel like a blur. I pour everything I have into preparing for the final showdown. I scour every document, every piece of evidence. I start connecting dots that I never even thought to look at before. The deeper I go, the more I realize that this whole case isn't just about me. It's about Chloe. And it's about the things she's been hiding, things that she thought would stay buried. Finally, I come across it. The smoking gun. It's the thing that could turn the entire case around. Chloe's involvement in something illegal, something much worse than I ever imagined. She's been covering it up this whole time. I have the proof. I sit back, my heart racing. This is it. The moment I've been waiting for. The truth is in my hands, and it's going to set me free. I know what I have to do now. The fight isn't over yet, but I'm ready. I have everything I need. And when the time comes, I won't hesitate. I'll expose the lies, and I'll make sure everyone knows the truth. The final day of the trial is here. And I feel every bit of the weight pressing down on me. My heart is pounding so loudly I can hear it in my ears. I try to steady my breath, but nothing works. My hands are shaking and I can feel my knees threaten to buckle beneath me. I glance at the judge, his impassive face staring back at me. Like a stone wall, I can't break through. Chloe's lawyer stands confidently, as if he already knows he's won. His smug expression only makes my stomach churn. I've seen that look on his face for weeks, now the belief that no one can beat him, that this case is as good as closed. But he's wrong. I've done the work. I've uncovered the truth. The truth that Chloe's been hiding. The truth that's going to change everything. I take a deep breath, steadying myself. This is my moment. The one I've been waiting for. The lawyer starts his closing argument, his voice full of conviction. Sharon, he says, looking directly at me, has lied to everyone in this room. She's made decisions that have not only hurt herself but her own family. She's guilty of all accusations. My hands ball into fists, but I don't let the anger show on my face. Instead, I rise. From my seat, my voice calm, steady. Your Honor, I say, keeping my eyes on the judge. I stand here today not as someone guilty of betrayal, but as someone who's been betrayed. I feel Chloe's gaze on me, sharp and cold. She's sitting there, her face pale, her hands nervously twisting in her lap. I can see the fear in her eyes, fear that I'm about to expose everything. The truth, I continue, my voice growing stronger with every word, is that Chloe didn't betray me just for some petty reason. She wasn't trying to destroy me for the sake of it. It was protecting something bigger, something that could ruin not just her, but everyone involved. I glance briefly at Chloe, my heart breaking. She looks at me, her face a mix of fear and guilt, but it's too late. The truth is out now, the documents I've uncovered. I go on, show a pattern, a dangerous pattern. Chloe, in her desperation, became involved in a scheme that could destroy more than just her future. It's illegal, and I have proof. There's a moment of silence in the courtroom. The room feels like it's holding its breath. Chloe looks like she's about to faint, her hands trembling in her lap. I can't help but feel a twinge of sympathy for her. But it's fleeting. This is bigger than her. This is about my life. My future. The lawyer stands, looking furious now. Objection, he says, but it's too late. The damage is done. The room is buzzing, the energy in the air electric. I turn to the judge, my voice unwavering. Your Honor, I didn't ask for any of this. I didn't ask to be dragged into a web of lies and deceit. But I found the truth, and now I'm asking for justice. I look at Chloe one last time. Her eyes are wide, her face pale. I want to scream at her for everything she's done, but I keep it together. This isn't about my anger anymore. It's about what's right. The judge, who has been silent through my entire speech, finally speaks. His voice is calm, but there's a weight to it that makes every word hit like a hammer. Based on the evidence presented, he says, and the testimony provided, it's clear that Sharon is not guilty of any wrongdoing. Chloe's actions, however, are another matter entirely. She will be held accountable for the deceit she's perpetrated. I can't breathe. For a moment, it feels like the room has stopped spinning. Chloe's face falls, her eyes wide with shock as the consequences of her actions start to sink in. I can see the moment when it hits her, the realization that everything she's worked to hide is coming to light. The lawyer, once so confident, stands frozen, speechless. His face is pale, his eyes darting between me and the judge. This time, it's him who's stunned. I stand there, my heart still pounding, but now with a sense of triumph. I've done it. I've taken control of my life again. I've exposed the truth, and in doing so, I've not only cleared my name, but I've reclaimed my peace. The judge bangs his gavel, signaling the end of the trial. Court is adjourned. The weight I've been carrying for so long suddenly lifts, like a fog clearing from my mind. It's over. I've won. As I walk out of the courtroom, I feel lighter than I have in months. I've faced the worst pain of my life, and yet, here I am, stronger, more whole. I know it won't be easy, but I'm finally free. No one can take that from me. I walk away from the courtroom, my head held high. This is my victory. This is my story. And no one will ever take my worth from me again.